This is Eyewitness News with live breaking news.
We begin with breaking news. A body has been found inside a rock column of a store in Lancaster. I'm Giovanna Lotta.
I'm Jory Rand. This is Eyewitness News at 11. A foul odor led to this grisly discovery. Eyewitness News reporter Leanne Suter is live at the scene with the very latest on this gory tale. Leanne.
Yeah, Jory and Giovanna, a very unusual and gruesome investigation here in Lancaster tonight. You see live behind me here, crews are cleaning up all of that brick and rock facade of that column where that man's body was found inside. Crews chip away at the rock column outside Winco Foods in Lancaster to remove the decomposing body of a man found trapped inside.
It is like a horror film. How could it happen? It's just amazing.
A worker in the store's plumber made the gruesome discovery after trying to locate a foul odor coming from the column.
They break out some of the brick on the fascia here of one of the columns in front of the store because that's where the smell seemed like it was coming from. And when they did that, they looked down, they could see a shoe and a leg down there at the bottom of the column, inside the column.
Detectives believe the victim may be a known suspect who led deputies on a pursuit Monday.
He got out the car, ran in, ran up the steps where the managers be at, and somehow got on the roof. And last I heard, he got away because they closed everything. They shut this whole thing down.
Investigators say the suspect simply disappeared on the roof. They didn't see or hear any signs of him and assumed he had managed to escape. Detectives say he hadn't been heard from since.
So he may have gotten inside there and somehow gotten down the column trying to hide from the deputies and then couldn't get out.
The coroner will have to determine exactly how the victim died. It's unclear if he fell to his death or became trapped and couldn't get out. A Hollywood horror film come to life, leaving even seasoned investigators in shock.
It's been over 100 degrees up here every day. You can imagine being inside that column and just baking. So yeah, it's a strange development how that happened, and if he died that way, it's a horrible way to die.
Yeah, truly a tragic case. Now, investigators say that there was a hatch door on the roof there that led to the column here. It's hollow inside, say pretty much like a shaft inside. Again, unclear if that victim went in and simply fell to the bottom or became stuck. Either way, losing his life in the process. Live in Lancaster, Leanne Suter, ABC 7 Eyewitness News.
Wow, Leanne, thank you. And developing news, fire crews battling the holy fire are making even more progress tonight. Here are the new numbers. The fire has burned 22,000 acres, its containment up to 36%. 12 structures have burned. More than 1,500 firefighters are on the scene tonight, trying to control the spread of the flames and protecting homes. Evacuations have now been lifted for several communities, but more than 7,000 homes remain under mandatory evacuations. Eyewitness News reporter Jade Hernandez spent the day in the Temescal Valley area where fire officials updated worried neighbors on what's next.
The ash, oh my gosh, it's killing us. Yesterday I did work here and it was like walking in an ashtray.
And she's not the only working neighbor who sees the ash.
We stay inside.
This man came to hear fire officials with the U.S. Forest Service and other emergency personnel at tonight's meeting. Their update confirmed what many neighbors already know. The hundreds of firefighters on the front lines have saved their community.
Love our firefighters.
This morning they had a total aerial bombardment. There were planes and helicopters just all morning flying over and hitting it pretty good. So it's compared to yesterday and a few days before, you couldn't see anything. But today it's a lot clearer.
Mike Merriman lives in this neighborhood not far from the school where that earlier meeting took place. You can see the flames from the street. Authorities instructed neighbors to wear surgical masks and for now limit time outdoors since the holy fire is still only 36% contained.
My kids won't be going back to school for another week due to the smoke and the ash.
In the 6 days since flames erupted, there's only been one report of a burglar in evacuation areas, and police have already made an arrest.
The one picture that kept being shown was the one guy that was arrested.
Gaining control of the flames is still the biggest concern since the fire has now delayed the start of school in the Corona Norco Unified School District. It's also getting neighbors back home.
I'm hoping sometime in the next 24 hours we'll be able to get all the Sycamore Creek residents home, but don't hold me to that. Things can change.
And now only about 2,700 properties are threatened by this fire. That number is down from the 11,000 structures initially threatened. In Temescal Valley, Jade Hernandez, ABC 7 Eyewitness News.
All right, Jade, thank you. And a check of your forecast now with Jonathan Novak. And good news, a cool down on the way.
Yeah, did you feel today a little bit cooler? Not a lot cooler. Temperatures were still in the 90s in some places, many places. Burbank hit 90, but better. And that's better, as in cooler, than we've been seeing the last few days. The whole month, except for one day, we were in the 90s in downtown. Today, we were at 90 degrees. But as we head into the forecast, that's changing tomorrow, starting tomorrow. Long Beach at 75, beautiful evening. Well, we know that. We've been left with some really nice nighttime temperatures, 78 in Santa Clarita. Temperatures right now in Riverside, 78, 93 in Palm Springs. Check out the fire weather forecast. Since we were looking at the fire danger, I want to just touch on this. As we see the cooler weather, of course, fire danger would be on the decrease. However, tomorrow in the afternoon, we're still seeing somewhat of elevated conditions in terms of the fire risk for wildfires to break out. Now, things will improve more on Monday. I'll tell you more about why. As that cool down continues, it's in the 7-day forecast. We'll check out all the details in just a few minutes. Back to you.
Okay, Jonathan, we'll see you then.
Sounds good.
In Reading, a memorial service was held today for a firefighter killed battling the car fire. Jeremy Stoke died July 26th. He was a fire prevention inspector and an 18-year veteran of the Reading Fire Department. Stoke is one of 8 people who lost their lives in the car fire in Northern California, which so far has destroyed more than 1,000 homes. It's burned more than 186,000 acres and remains just 55% contained. For the latest on the fires burning in Southern California and beyond, be sure to download our free ABC 7 Los Angeles app and get breaking news alerts sent right to your phone.
And now at 11, we're learning much more about the young man who stole an airliner at Seattle's SeaTac Airport and crashed the plane after a reckless and suicidal joyride. And we're hearing from his family. ABC's Clayton Sandell has the very latest.
Oh my God, is he okay?
The alarming aerobatics of a passenger airline.
Holy
Looping and rolling, pursued by fighter jets.
The Alaska Airlines Q400, what the is he doing over here?
Proving this was no ordinary air show. That plane stolen, surprising controllers when it barged onto the runway.
The dash 8 on runway 16 center, say your call sign.
Taking off Friday at 7:32 p.m.
Wheels are smoking left and right. Right now it's rolling down the runway.
At the controls, 29-year-old Richard Russell, a Horizon Airlines baggage handler. He'd passed background checks and had worked for Horizon for 3.5 years, even posting about his job on YouTube.
I'm a ground service agent. That means I lift a lot of bags.
F-15 fighters scramble from Portland, flying faster than the speed of sound, intercepting Russell south of Seattle. They are prepared to shoot him down as controllers try to talk him down.
All right, Rich, now let's try to land that airplane safely and not hurt anybody on the ground.
I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't want to. I was kind of hoping that was going to be it.
75 minutes after takeoff, the plane crashes into flames on a small island. Russell is killed.
Got a lot of people that care about me, and it's going to disappoint them that I did this. I would like to apologize to each and every one of them.
This is a complete shock to us. We are devastated by these events. As the voice recordings show, Bebo's intent was not to harm anyone. He was right in saying that there are so many people who have loved him.
Commercial airplanes do not have door locks or ignition keys. Experts say they can be easily started using a checklist. But tonight there are big questions about how Russell was able to learn just enough to get that plane off the ground and why. The Pierce County Sheriff described Russell as suicidal.
The FBI says this does not appear to be terrorism, but it is a big red flag for aviation security. However, the airline says it's still too early to talk about whether security procedures need to be beefed up. Clayton Sandell, ABC News, Seattle.
President Trump has a new name for former White House staffer and fellow reality TV star Omarosa Manigault Newman, and it's not flattering.
Mr. President, do you feel betrayed by Omarosa, sir?
Get back out the way!
Low life. She's a low life.
Omarosa claims in her new book titled Unhinged, set to be released Tuesday, that President Trump used racial slurs on the set of his reality show, The Apprentice. She also says she has since changed her mind after working for years willingly for President Trump and now thinks he's a racist, misogynist, and a bigot. The White House says the book is, quote, riddled with lies and false accusations. Meantime, attorney Michael Avenatti has come up with a new way to challenge President Trump. He's considering a bid for the White House. Avenatti is in Iowa this weekend. He delivered the closing speech at the Democratic Wing Ding, an event that's a traditional stop for presidential hopefuls. Avenatti, who is the attorney for porn star Stormy Daniels, says the party needs a bare-knuckle fighter to take back the White House.
Now at 11 tomorrow is the anniversary of a deadly campus confrontation between torch-carrying white nationalists and counter-protesters in Charlottesville, Virginia. Today, there were arrests following an encounter between police officers in riot gear and demonstrators on the University of Virginia campus. ABC's Ty Hernandez reports.
Tight security in Charlottesville, Virginia on Saturday. Police arresting at least 3 people. The governor declaring a state of emergency, hoping to avoid a repeat of last year, when protests turned deadly. Police blocking off streets, mobilizing hundreds of officers preparing for Sunday's events. Jason Kessler, one of the organizers of last year's Unite the Right event, says he is not a racist, calling himself a civil rights advocate for white people.
White people are about to become a minority in both the United States and Europe. I think we are facing epidemic levels of anti-white discrimination.
This year, the Unite the Right 2 rally will be held in Lafayette Park in front of the White House on Sunday. President Trump criticized for his response to the violence last year, today tweeting, "The riots in Charlottesville a year ago resulted in senseless death and division. We must come together as a nation. I condemn all types of racism and acts of violence. Peace to all Americans." An anti-fascist group quietly marched through downtown Charlottesville Saturday afternoon, paying tribute to Heather Heyer, the 32-year-old woman killed when a man drove his car into a crowd during last year's protests. The group leaving messages at the site of her death. Heather's mother also there to honor her daughter.
We're trying to make the world a better place and either get on board or get out of the way.
On Sunday, she will stand with many of the people who marched with her daughter last year. Ty Hernandez, ABC News, New York.
Eyewitness News returns with these new stories.
It's the viral video sparking controversy. Now a police officer seen repeatedly punching a man is facing new consequences.
Plus, there is growing outrage aimed at a school after handcuffs are placed on a 10-year-old boy with autism.
Oh my God, those cars are completely underwater.
And parts of the country trying to dry out after major storms cause flash flooding. The story just ahead.
Oh my God.
Now at 11, video of a violent police confrontation going viral. A Baltimore police officer has been suspended after this video surfaced, showing him punching and knocking a man down on the sidewalk. The man was arrested and later released without charges. His attorney claims the officer tried to provoke him because his client is facing charges for allegedly assaulting the same officer back in June. The police commissioner says he is deeply disturbed by the video and will fully investigate the incident.
Growing outrage after a 10-year-old boy with autism was handcuffed in his own school in Texas. His parents say it was totally excessive. Police say the boy had been misbehaving and posed a serious threat to himself and others. Body cam video shows the child screaming as the officer forces him to the ground and eventually puts him in handcuffs. Once he relaxed, they removed the restraints. The school district says it will continue to review its practices and work with law enforcement agencies.
And as we sit here on the West Coast in heat and very little rain, heavy storms are causing flash flooding and power outages in New York City. The storms are part of a system bringing heavy rain and thunderstorms to much of the East Coast this weekend. Flash flood watches are in effect across the 5 boroughs through tomorrow morning.
Oh my God, those cars are completely underwater.
And in nearby New Jersey, cars swamped and even swept away in flash flooding. Floodwater swept vehicles off a car dealership lot and into a river. This after relentless rains across parts of the state. Homes and businesses were inundated with water as well.
Yeah, and covering the fire last night, I had someone on Facebook say on the East Coast, I wish we could send you some of this water because we're getting so much of it right now on the East Coast, Jonathan.
It'd be nice if we could just even it out like that. I mean, the thing is, storms are a process to get everything back to sort of an equilibrium. And you know, it's happening right now on the East Coast. It would be cool if we could just sort of smear that around, but it's not happening. This is where it's all focused currently. In fact, we just saw some of the video from the flooding, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, Maryland earlier. Now we're looking at, or they're looking at, flash flood watches as mentioned. Those go through tomorrow morning. A lot of rain falling in the Northeast. So for us, let's pan all the way across, there we go, the country. Look at all this lightning. Look at all this lightning. Now, this is all headed to the west. And will any of it reach, in fact, and is some of it in San Bernardino County already, will any of it reach here a little bit more locally? I doubt that, but it's possible. And tomorrow, either way, we have a chance of storms. But we could also see if this cluster of storms happens to send out some boundaries in our direction, and they tend sometimes to linger. That could also feed into some storm chances. Either way, it would be off to the eastern parts of the area, regardless, around Big Bear and down south in the low desert and eastward. So we're not looking for a lot of rain, 20 to 30% chance tomorrow. Then that's it, because we're looking at this for the rest of the forecast through the work week at least, a dry picture. Live Megadoppler 7000 HD is showing that tonight at least after what we had today, which was, guys, a couple of storms. Big Bear saw a little bit of lightning, in fact. That was the only game in town. And then, aside from that, some morning clouds at the coast turned sunny. Everybody was sunny, 90 degrees in downtown, normally at 84. That is every single day this month except for one that we've been in the 90s in downtown. That's a hot month. And it's going to cool down, but we're not going to get below average. We're going to stay at or above the whole forecast. It is 74 right now in downtown. You see here that yellow shade up around Palmdale and northward. That's about a 30-mile-per-hour wind gust that's still out there tonight. We're looking for the gusty conditions again tomorrow in the same spots, the deserts, the mountains. That won't help with the fire danger, unfortunately. But what will help is the cooler weather and humidity levels, easy to say, at or even a little bit lower than they were today going into the next couple of days. So that will help. That won't help, I should say, but they won't be all that much lower. So that's good news. It won't feel muggy, but it won't be hurting the fire danger out there, so that's good. So we're looking at firefighters getting a little bit of a break here with those temperatures coming down. I hope that made sense. There we go. 70s and 80s tonight. Now, what we have in the large scope is high pressure. We know that, and that's what's been keeping us so darn hot. And you see this arc right here in the atmosphere. That's the ridge of high pressure. Thanks to this trough in the Pacific Northwest, it's weakening. Watch it weaken over the next couple of days, and this is what we have to look forward to, the cooler weather. This is the reason why. Watch it sort of flatten out right here Monday and Tuesday. Now, it's still there, and it's still controlling our weather to a good degree, but we have more of an onshore flow because it weakens, and we see going into Tuesday late, into Wednesday, that reverse. And so by Friday, Thursday and Friday, that ridge is back even stronger than it will be on Tuesday, and so that's going to mean a warm-up after the cool down. And the cool down is looking like this. At least this is, I would say, day 2, because today we were cooler. 87 in downtown, 94 no high. These temperatures are still kind of hot in the inland spots, but man, that is so much better than 104, 105. AccuWeather 7-day for LA Metro and Orange County. 87 tomorrow, 84 on Monday and Tuesday, about that on Wednesday. And the temperatures do climb after that, as I mentioned, but they're not going to be oppressively hot. So that's good. It looks like this next 7 days at least is much more tolerable. Valleys, i.e. seasonable stuff as you get into the work week. So we got one more day here tomorrow in the lower to mid 90s, 93. We're back to the triple digits in many spots come next Friday and Saturday, though. At the beach, if you're heading out there tomorrow, 77, morning clouds, plenty of sun after, I would say, probably 9 a.m. And then you're going to be seeing the surf 3 to 5 with a high risk of rip currents. Mountains, there's that chance of storms tomorrow, and I come back with the chance of storms on Thursday, Friday, Saturday. So in between, we're dry. The high desert, dry. Hot tomorrow, a little cooler, back to close to normal Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, guys. So, and then we're back to 103 next Saturday. But that's at least it's not, you know,
110.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
170.
There's a big difference, I think.
Small victories where we can get them. Jonathan, thank you. Ashley Brewer joins us now with a look ahead to sports.
What's up, everyone? Tiger Woods finds himself in contention and going into the final round of the PGA Championship. So we'll have some highlights from that. And football is here. You just watched this game right here on ABC 7. We'll have some Chargers highlights coming up next.
Ashley Brewer joining us now with sports. We had an abbreviated post-game show because the Chargers preseason opener just kept going.
They fought till the end.
They did.
As they often do. No Phillip Rivers, no Joey Bosa, no problem. The game's got to go on. We finally get to see this Chargers team that, by the way, ended last year as one of the hottest teams in the NFL on the field again tonight in Arizona, taking on the Cardinals. That's a game you watched right here on ABC 7. All camp long, the team has made defense a point of emphasis. Linebacker Hayes Pollard, former Trojan, had 2 tackles along with this takedown of former UCLA quarterback Josh Rosen. Rivalry still alive. Phillip Rivers didn't dress tonight, so here's a little backup battle. In the third, Geno Smith launches one 47 yards. Receiver Jeremy Davis goes up, gets it. He avoids the tackle and runs into the end zone. Then, still in the third, defense at it again. This pass deflected. Undrafted free agent cornerback Brandon Facyson makes the most of that opportunity right there. Nice interception. Then to the fourth, a test for the Chargers goal line offense, and they just make it look easy. Running back Detrez Newsome taking it in from 6 yards out, and a nice little backflip to end it. But they would go on to lose this game 24-17. Monday morning, our Eyewitness News pop-up bureau returns to Costa Mesa. So you got to join me and Leslie Lopez at Chargers camp. Stop by, hang out. It's a lot of fun. Tiger Woods tied a career-high 5 birdies on his opening 9 of the 3rd round of the PGA Championship, and he found himself within 2 shots of the lead. Woods was looking to close out as he headed onto the back 9 at Bellerive. We catch up with him on 17. He's 8 under par with a chance for eagle. Now, his last 2 greens, his putts had come up a little bit short. This one, more than enough power. He just misses it wide right. All right, fine. He's Tiger. He'll regroup, make a putt for birdie or not. This one just rims out. His second 3-putt in the round, so he settles for his second consecutive 4 under par 66 to finish the day 4 back. Ricky Fowler right here, finding himself just off the green at 17, a chance for eagle himself. Just misses the pin. He was able to convert for birdie, so he ends the day 3 shots off the lead. And here's Brooks Koepka. What a day. How about an eagle on 17? His putt from 12 feet, 8 inches, a little wide right. So he's able to tap in for a birdie there. Shoots a 4 under par 66. He'll head into tomorrow's final round with a 2-shot lead. There are 11 players within 4 shots of the lead. That includes Fowler, Woods, Jason Day, Justin Thomas. And make sure you stick with us a little bit later. We're going to show you some Dodgers and Angels highlights. Not a great day for you.
What happens when your all-star closer is not in the lineup?
Yikes. Yeah. Thanks, guys.
Ashley, thank you. We'll be right back.
Now at 11, North Hollywood showing off its artistic side tonight with its first ever No Hope block party. Lankershim Boulevard closed down for several hours as visitors mixed and mingled. This event featured art and food vendors along with live music and theatrical performances. The block party was sponsored by City Council member Paul Krikorian, the Valley Cultural Center, and other organizations.
We have more news straight ahead,
including collecting crayons for a cause and setting a world record in the process. We'll explain next.
The LA-based organization Crayon Collection set a Guinness World Record for the most crayons donated to a charity. They collected 1,009,500 crayons. The event was meant to celebrate LAUSD and Head Start program educators for their service. This is a time-lapse video of the crayon maze being set up this morning at the Culver City Westfield Shopping Center. Hundreds of teachers who attended received complimentary crayons for their students.
Great stuff. Much more news still to come.
Up next, LA County's Special Enforcement Bureau shows off part of what makes it so special.
Plus, local security experts weigh in on what airports across the country are now learning in the wake of that stolen plane incident in Seattle. Eyewitness News Late Edition is next.
Live from ABC 7, this is Eyewitness News.
The family of a man who committed suicide by stealing a plane at SeaTac International Airport in Seattle and crashing it tonight, speaking out about their loved one. They say this comes as a complete shock. Good evening. Thanks for joining us. I'm Jory Rand.
I'm Giovanna Lotta. This is the late edition of Eyewitness News. The family of the man says he was a faithful husband, loving son, and good friend. Officials say the man stole an airplane while working at SeaTac International Airport in Seattle. Authorities are trying to figure out how he was able to do it. Eyewitness News reporter Leanne Suter has the details.
Are you sure he's not going to hit us?
A dramatic scene captured on camera by numerous witnesses.
Oh my God. What is happening right now?
After authorities say Horizon Air baggage handler stole this plane.
I just kind of want to do a couple maneuvers, see what it can do before I put her down.
Those on the ground capturing the errant flight's every move, making loops and rolling in the sky.
Just did a loop-de-loop.
NORAD scrambling 2 fighter jets to intercept the plane as air traffic control tried desperately to help the 29-year-old who did not know how to fly land the aircraft.
I wouldn't know how to land it. I wasn't really planning on landing it.
Officials say Richard Russell had clearance to be on the tarmac, passing all security measures. He had worked for the airline for 3.5 years. This isn't the first time someone with proper airport clearance has stolen a plane, and experts say it likely won't be the last, since there is no protocol for mental health fitness.
We have to build a new set of security measures on a new set of assumptions that say we need a set of people who work at airports with a demonstrated pattern of trustworthiness.
Airports across the country, like here at Hollywood Burbank, reviewing security procedures for those with access to aircraft. Russell flew for about an hour before crashing into flames on an island about 25 miles from the airport. The 29-year-old did not survive.
I got a lot of people that care about me. It's going to disappoint them to hear that I did this. I would like to apologize to each and every one of them.
Commercial airplanes don't have door locks or ignition keys. Experts say it's easy to start them with the checklist. The FBI now investigating the incident. In Burbank, Leanne Suter, ABC 7 Eyewitness News.
Customers scramble as gunshots ring out in a crowded Las Vegas shopping center. This happened today. Witnesses say the incident began inside a Ross Dress for Less in a complex as a domestic dispute between a man and a woman. Police wound up shooting the man when he tried to open fire on the woman. The condition of that shooting victim not known tonight. Officers wound up shutting down roads in and around the area as they investigated what happened. Meantime, a man is found dead inside a vacant car wash. Police now trying to figure out how he died. Police were called this afternoon about a man trapped inside. When crews arrived, they found him dead. Investigators now trying to find out how he died and are working to try to find any witnesses who may have seen what happened.
A desperate search is underway to find an 11-year-old boy missing for more than a day and a half. Investigators say Kason McLean was last seen yesterday around 9:30 in the morning. He walked away from the Hathaway Sycamores group home on North El Nido Drive and never came back. McLean was last seen wearing a gray short-sleeve Nike shirt and black sweatpants. Anyone with information on his whereabouts is urged to call police.
It was an eye-opening training exercise out on the water. The LA County Sheriff's Department Special Enforcement Bureau tweeting out this video showing special weapons team members conducting maritime counter-terrorism drills. A simulated scenario stopping an armed vessel attempting to enter and attack targets in the port of Los Angeles and Long Beach.
The first of 4 new Coast Guard cutters arrived today in San Pedro. This is the Coast Guard cutter Forrest Rednauer, a 154-foot-long ship. It is the newest class of Coast Guard fast response cutters for the U.S. Coast Guard base of Los Angeles and Long Beach. The other 3 ships will follow soon. The 4 ships will home port in Los Angeles for the next 12 months. The ships will be used for various needs, including law enforcement and rescue operations.
They'll be making sure that our incredibly important ports in California remain safe and secure. We'll be making sure that illegal drugs and migrants don't make it to U.S. shores. They'll be doing environmental missions like oil spill response and fisheries boardings and anything else that the Coast Guard demands of them.
The ships are replacing Coast Guard cutters built in the 1980s.
More news is straight ahead.
Up next, a great example of firefighters going above and beyond the call of duty while fighting wildfires.
Speaking of which, we'll talk about our wildfire danger forecast coming up. Plus, we're getting a little hiatus from that heat. Details on that, the storm outlook, is coming up in the 7-day forecast. Stick around.
For uplifting news and stunning images from the circle of eyewitnesses, follow us on Instagram at ABC7LA. And remember to post your photos and videos with hashtag ABC7Eyewitness.
Here's a story showing just how first responders go beyond the call of duty. CAL FIRE posted these pictures online with these words: after a father informed his daughter that her fish was likely dead, both were in for quite a shock when they returned home to a well-fed fish. Thanks CAL FIRE Engine 1489 and Corning Police Department for ensuring Grant, the fish, was fed while his owners were evacuated due to the Carr fire. The Carr fire near Redding has burned more than 186,000 acres and is 55% contained, but Grant is still kicking.
What a great name. Looks like a Japanese fighting fish in there. What a great name for a fish, Grant.
Yeah, Grant.
I love it. I love it.
I want to meet the firefighter who thought about, got to save that Grant. Got to save Grant, and they did.
Must have a child or a fish at home.
Probably, yeah. Okay, we're going to be fishing for some cooler weather, and I think we'll be successful. Does that work?
We'll catch some?
Yeah, we'll reel some in. I don't know. All right, so guys, yes, we have a hiatus here as we look ahead to the forecast from the heat, and we're going to be seeing those temperatures on the cool down as well as we'll see in a moment, the fire danger, as we were just talking about that. Tonight, we are looking at dry conditions. Now, we did have a couple storms earlier this afternoon, but really, the majority of us were thinking about sunny skies and what you're seeing on the screen, which are somewhat cooler temperatures compared to even just a couple of days ago. We were only at 90 in Burbank, and we have clear skies there. It looks like a nice shot from our downtown camera. Santa Barbara in the upper 70s. Ojai was only 92, and the numbers are going down. So, as we head into the next 2 days, really, we'll bottom out. We'll hit our coolest weather on Monday and Tuesday. You'll see it in the 7-day. In fact, it looks like temperatures even tomorrow cooler than today. It's looking really nice to end things off because we've had such a tough go of it with the heat wave after heat wave. that we're finally getting back to average. Not below average, but at least back to normal. Now tonight, we're left with some humidity out there. Inland spots still seeing some humidity levels tonight, about 65% in the IE. We're just thinking about fire danger. We want, obviously, more moisture in the air. It looks like we're going to hang where we are, maybe see the air dry a bit for the beginning of the work week, but not so much so that I think it's going to cause a big problem in terms of the fire danger. The temperatures cooling off also help, of course. Tonight, we're at 77 if you're in Ontario, 93 in Palm Springs. Just a beautiful evening. And again, we are DRY, no green on the screen, but it looks like maybe a storm tomorrow's possible. We're still going to keep that in the forecast. We had a couple, as I mentioned today, they were around Big Bear. So I think the eastern portions of the area still under the gun there for a possible storm. And then we actually have a little cluster that's moving in through far eastern San Bernardino County. Now, those probably not going to hold together, but could see some boundaries lingering around. I'm going with 30% tomorrow at the top end, 20 to 30% overall for the mountain areas. I wouldn't count on much. Look for the temperatures to be cooler, nice sunshine out there. It's going to be a nice Sunday overall. Now, here's why this is happening, why we're seeing the cool down. High pressure, which has been such a nuisance this season, is weakening. Finally here, we're going to see a break from that high pressure ridge over the whole western part of the country. But then it strengthens again. When does that happen? It happens next Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. So we've got 3 days, a good 3 days, where we'll see the temperatures on the downtrend. Here's the fire weather forecast. In spite of all that, we still have some fire danger tomorrow. It looks like some of those gusts coming down from the south-facing slopes there, the Antelope Valley, helping to exacerbate a little bit of that fire danger in the high desert. So that's going into tomorrow at 5 p.m. Notice some of that red there. That would be on the high range for the deserts. Mountains included to some degree. I would think by Monday and Tuesday, we're sitting pretty as far as any of that goes, at least comparably or compared to what we've had lately. I mean, temperatures tomorrow at 87 in downtown. You can't beat that when we were at the mid to upper 90s earlier in the week. Highs tomorrow in Fillmore at 91. That's quite a break here. So AccuWeather 70 for LA Metro and Orange County. That's going to continue Monday and Tuesday, as I mentioned. We're back to normal. I mean, Monday and Tuesday we're at 84. Wednesday we're just about there at 85. Temperatures will warm up, though, on Friday and Saturday to near 90 degrees. I think some places in the LA basin will hit 90 degrees then. So that's a good stretch of time to catch a break here and take a breath of just cooler air. Valleys, IE tomorrow, 93, 90 on Monday. Some places will see some lower to mid 90s then, but overall upper 80s, lower 90s for 3 days before things start heating up again in the valleys next Friday and Saturday. At the beach spots, well, if you can get there tomorrow, 77. High risk of rip currents, but otherwise looking good out there. The mountains, 79. Slight chance there of some storms tomorrow, the eastern portions. And then by Thursday, we're looking at still some sun, but the possibility we catch a random storm, isolated storm there on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. 20% chance for that to happen. In the high desert tomorrow, 100. Cools off a bit, and then it warms back up again. We got 103 next Saturday, your hottest temp. So it's a break. Not a cool break, but a cool down of sorts, guys.
Something to look forward to.
Grant would approve.
Yeah, cooler, coolish.
Coolish, yeah.
All right.
Thank you.
Good night.
Thank you. An end of summer celebration taking place in downtown Los Angeles. The annual Art and Education Fair hosted by the Los Angeles Mission for Children from Underserved Communities. The goal is to get kids ready as they head back to school. In addition to entertainment, the kids were treated to food and backpacks full of back-to-school supplies.
Some may be celebrating the end of summer, but things are just heating up for the boys of summer. The Angels welcomed the A's to Anaheim.
And it did not go well while the Dodgers were in Denver looking to separate themselves in the race for the NL West. All the hits and misses coming up. Ashley Brewer's back with more sports. Today we figure out what happens when the Dodgers don't have their closer.
Yeah, and it's not good.
It's not good.
It's not good. We learned before today's Dodger game that Kenley Jansen will be out until at least August 20th. He has an irregular heartbeat. Now, with that all-star closer out of the mix, the Dodgers hoping for a team effort to get them back into the win column. Not so much. A bit of small ball to start in the top of the first. Justin Turner just lifts one to deep center, right over Charlie Blackmon's head. Manny Machado scores from second. Turner digs all the way to third. An RBI triple, 1-0 Dodgers. Then a little long ball, top of second. Yasiel Puig up and Puig out. This one leaves the yard in a hurry. 2-0. That's his 100th career homer. Then in the third, some leather. Brian Dozier with a diving stop. He uses his glove to toss it to Machado, throws it to first. The beautiful 4-6-3 double play right there. Then in the ninth, a double, a hit by pitch, and then this. JT Chagua gives up the 3-run home run. The Rockies walk it off. They're now a game and a half back of the Dodgers and the Diamondbacks. To Anaheim, Tyler Skaggs, fresh off the DL, taking the mound, the Angels versus the A's. Not how you want to come back right here. Skaggs was lit up. 7 earned runs, just over 3 1/3 innings of work. That includes 2 home runs from Marcus Semien. Edwin Jackson started for Oakland. The Angels just could not figure him out. He goes 7 1/3 strong with 6 strikeouts, 3 hits. Need a little help from his defense, too. Check out this play, bottom of the third. Justin Upton sends one deep to left center. Looks like extra bases, but ace center fielder Ramon Laureano somehow runs it down. Again, making that catch. He launches the missile to first base, throwing out Eric Young Jr. Check out this, like, unreal precision. That is the play of the day right there. The Angels do lose 7-0, unfortunately. Touchdown. We did find out that we will see Phillip Rivers starting the next 2 preseason games. So Chargers fans, get ready.
Ashley, thank you.
Thanks,
we'll be
guys.
right back. A celebration of Korean pop culture will enter its third day tomorrow at the LA Convention Center. There's discussions with Korean entertainment personalities, Korean pop music and dance performances, and a Korean beauty products bazaar, too.
Yeah, look at them.
That looks
All
really
in sync.
fun.
Yeah, and that's going to do it for us here on Eyewitness News. Late edition, Castaways is up next.
Eyewitness News returns tomorrow morning at 5 a.m. Thanks again for tuning in. Have a great night. We'll see you tomorrow.
She laughed at the idea of me doing squats.